besties! Welcome back to another episode of your Manifesting Bestie podcast, season 5. I'm your host, Flora, and we are diving into all things mindset and manifestation and divine feminine energy lessons like we have been this whole season. And today's topic is really special. I think this is my number one requested topic of the entire season. It only took me, 11 episodes to get to it, but we're here. I think this episode is going to change your life. I think if you apply the practices in this episode, everything you currently know is going to transform because you are going to start doing life like a rhythmic woman, like a cyclical woman. We normally don't do life like that. We honestly all do life like men. We live a life designed by men for men, as we know, on a 24-hour cycle. And women don't necessarily flourish in that type of a cycle. That's not the rhythm that we are naturally tuned to. Because you see, the woman, the feminine, is so attuned to nature. She's actually the physical manifestation of nature. Hence, Mother Nature, Mother Earth. The reason we are on a 28-day cycle is because we are cyclical beings. We operate with the cycles of nature. We operate just like spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And we go through this phase all month long. So if you ever have periods during the month where you're like, I don't feel like myself, I don't feel good, I feel like I can't get things done, I feel like I'm not from this world, I feel like I'm disassociating, well, no freaking wonder we get like that. There's no wonder that a lot of women are actually living in autoimmune disease, and it's skyrocketing because we are not in tune with our cycle. We are completely living life out of what was designed for us. We're living the type of lifestyle that God did not create for us. Man did, right? Men created this system. Men created this reality. Men created this life for us. And it's just not in tune with our divine nature because we are the creators. You are really the creator in flesh. There is no divine being that is more special than you, that is a better representation of nature as a whole than you are. Your beautiful cycle has been so misunderstood, and I know I had a huge misunderstanding of it for such a long time. I actually got to a point, I remember in like my later teenage years, where I was like, I hate my body. I hate my cycle. I hate everything about it. Why do I go through these phases? Why do I have to experience this until menopause? Why, right? I had a lot of hate and disapproval towards my body. I didn't see the beauty in it. I didn't understand it because no one taught me about my cycle. Like, why isn't the most important part about the female anatomy actually taught to us? How to operate our cycle. And I'm not just talking about the phase of our menstruation. I'm talking about the entire month because we are going through 4 separate phases. We operate just like nature. So not only are you synced with moon phases that operate through a 28-day cycle, but you are also synced with weather phases. Like the way that I mentioned, we are spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And since we are these divine beings, these divine creators, we really are God in flesh. The woman, not just the anatomy, not just the energy, not just the spirit, but the woman overall is the physical embodiment of the creator, of God. Just in case you forgot that God is a feminine entity. So I really want to help my ladies out to hack your cycle. Hence why I'm wearing red today in honor of your divine period, in honor of your divine menstruation cycle. Like, it's so crazy to me. I used to think that having a period was dirty and gross, filthy, embarrassing. I needed to hide it. I needed to feel ashamed. I needed to always make sure I wrap a sweater around my waist when I was in school, because what if I drip? What if something, what if someone sees something? Oh my God, I'll be embarrassed until eternity. And it's crazy because they would kick women out of churches and mosques and temples when they were bleeding on their divine blood. Like, your cycle is feared. They fear it. Men fear it. They don't know what to do with it. They don't understand that that's how you hold all the power. So do not be ashamed of your beautiful cycle, of your beautiful blood. It's not dirty. It is the creation of life. There is nothing dirty, nothing to be ashamed of. It should be honored. You should be praised for going through these cycles, in all honesty. So on today's episode, we are going to be talking about cycle syncing. I'm actually teaching this in a lot of my business programs now for women. My clients who are turning into multi-6-figure and 7-figure entrepreneurs, I'm teaching them how to cycle sync their work schedule to become filthy fucking rich. Like, I really want my girls to prosper. Stop hustling like a man and start syncing up like the rhythmic divine woman that you are. That's what you deserve. You deserve a life that feels like flow state. You deserve a life that feels honorable, not shameful. You deserve a life where you feel like you can thrive and rest in different periods, right? And not feel guilty about it. Because please raise your hand if you feel guilty for resting. All of us. Please raise your hand if you feel guilty for having a day of non-productivity. All of us. Please raise your hand if you sit down and you're like, oh my God, I've been sitting down for an hour. And like, let's say someone comes home in your house and you're like, oh, I have to look like I'm busy. God forbid someone sees me resting. They're going to think I'm a waste of space, right? How many of us think like that? All of us. It's like we're not allowed to rest. You know what your body is going through. Like, your body all month long is like this detoxification system. You're literally detoxifying your own blood. That's why women live longer than men, because we let out blood. Okay, so let's talk about cycle syncing. I want to talk about this for health purposes and for success purposes. This is going to help you on your manifestation journey because you are finally getting in sync with the divine. You're going to hear your intuition better. You're going to feel better. Your resistance is going to ease up for manifestation purposes. You're going to live a life that is more joyous, more harmonious, more in balance for the things that you actually want, right? Like, who doesn't want that? I realized after a while, I'm like, I cannot operate like a man. I tried. I'm like, I'm going to wake up so early. I'm going to hustle, do the early morning workouts, and then clean, and then run my business, and then do this and that, and I'll take care of everything. I can't. I go crazy, okay? I'm not a man, I'm a woman. So let's talk about cycle syncing. So you have 4 phases, right? And I'm reading this off my notes app because I have so much notes that I've taken on this over the past year, and I'm just so excited to share it. So we are going to start this entire cycle syncing from the menstrual phase, because that's the most common one everyone knows, and then go into the other phases. So as I mentioned before, we operate with the seasons of nature. So think of the 4 seasons of the year, right? So your menstrual phase, which is days 1 through 5, that's when you are letting out blood. This is going to be considered your winter phase. What do we do in winter? We rest. We relax more. We are bundled up and cozy. We want to stay warm, right? Because our body is eliminating and detoxifying all the energy that was pent up and held inside of it. This is a purification process, and your body is doing a lot of work. No wonder you're tired on your period. No wonder you feel a little bit more cranky, a little bit more irritable. No wonder you're having cramps, right? No wonder that your body does not feel good at this time, and it's calling you to rest. So this is days 1 through 5. This is the winter season. Your estrogen and your progesterone are low in this phase. Your energy and your focus is also low in this phase. And this is the best time for rest, reflection, and evaluation of your current reality. Meaning, this is a good time to do introspective work. Analyze your life and say, okay, this is my resting period. What did I like about the last 28 to 30 days? What did I not like? What did I enjoy? What did I not enjoy? What did I like about myself, the way that I show up? What did I not like? And this is a good time to start doing a little intervention. Start overseeing your reality. Like, okay, what do I want to change? What am I unhappy with, unsatisfied with, and what do I love that I want more of? So do the introspection work during your cycle, because remember, when you are letting out blood, you are letting out energy. So this is a good time to set an intention when you are bleeding to let out stagnation, let out old beliefs, let out pent up emotions that you do not want to hold on to anymore. You can do this as an intention when your menstruation cycle starts. So you can say, you know, with this cycle, and you're going to talk to your body, with this cycle, you know, I intend to leave behind and release X, Y, and Z. You know what those things are. You know what you do not have time and space and energy for in your life anymore. And you are going to use this process of detoxification, letting out blood, to release it physically from your body. And please know, this is not the time to be hard on yourself. This is not the time to be angry with yourself. This is not the time to hold on to stagnant energy. This is the time to have patience with yourself, be kinder to yourself, love on yourself a little bit more, a little bit deeper, and hug yourself while you're in the mirror, hug yourself while you're snuggled up on the couch. Like, love on yourself, because your body is going through a big elimination process during menstruation. This is a good time for quiet time, for journaling, delegating tasks to other people, whether it's in your home or in your business. Get things off your plate. You don't want to be scheduling meetings. You don't want to be planning trips, right? This is literally time for your body to release. So it needs all the energy that it has so that it can do its job. Now, the second phase is your follicular phase. This is days 6 through 13, and this is what we considered springtime. So this is the spring season of your month. So what do we think of when we think of spring? We think of new beginnings, right? We just detoxified the whole body. We let out things we don't want to harbor and hold on to anymore during our menstruation. And now spring has started. So think of flowers growing, right? New ideas popping up, new projects that we want to launch, setting big goals, having a big vision, visualizing, our next level, our next timeline. So your follicular phase is a really good time to create and plan out your month. So this is where your estrogen is rising. This is when your creativity is at a much higher peak than before. So your juices are flowing in your mind. You're like, ooh, I have this really good idea. I have this really good idea. This is a really good time for me to strategize and plan this out and set up my calendar for the month and plan my content days or plan this or plan that or plan this outing, right? This is a really good time for brainstorming and really putting attention on starting new projects that have been lingering that you really wanted to get to. This is the best time, the best window of opportunity to get those new things started. Now, the third phase, which is everybody's favorite moment, obviously, is the ovulation phase. This is days 14 to 16, so this is a 3-day period. This is when you are at your peak. You are your most magnetic self. This is what we call the summer phase. So we went from winter, spring, summer. So summer, what do we feel like in the summer? We want to be outside. We want to be seen. The sun is out. The birds are chirping. We want to be on the beach. We want to be having fun. We are feeling alive. We are feeling magnetic. Okay, you might feel a little bit more sensual, a little bit more sexual, a little bit more flirtatious, a lot more playful. You might want to be out socializing more, meeting people, talking to new people, right? If you are a business owner, you want to be launching your projects in your ovulation phase. If you want to sell out that new program, sell out that new offer, right? If you want to sell out that new product that you just created, your ovulation phase is when you are extremely delicious, extremely magnetic. Your aura is powerful. It's like your electromagnetic field has grown during your ovulation phase because you just look your best, you feel your best, you are just dripping in juicy, saucy energy. Like, you're feeling good, okay? You are shining. This is the time to be seen. If you want to live stream for your business, if you want to be outside networking, if you want to be live launching, if you want to go on dates, right? This is a really good time to go out and date and mingle and meet new people, make new friends, whatever it is. This is a good time. As you know your phase, you're gonna see how different you feel in each of these phases, obviously. So just keep in mind the seasons of nature because you're gonna feel like them. Winter, we wanna rest. Spring, we are getting new inspiration, new ideas are sprouting. In the summer, we wanna be outside, we wanna be making friends, we wanna have fun. We are like, go, go, go. We're having a good time. We're feeling energetic, alive. And so the reason that in our ovulation phase, we are feeling really good is because our estrogen is at its peak right now. We are also experiencing an LH surge. Our energy is social, it's magnetic, it's extremely confident. This is when you really know what you're saying, you feel powerful, you're feeling bold. So this is why I'm saying this is a time to be seen, to put yourself out there no matter what it is that you're doing. You can do presentations, networking events, you can go talk on different podcasts. This is like that time where you want all eyes on you during the month. So in case you were wondering, when am I my most charismatic self, my most magnetic, sexual, beautiful, alive, awakened, passionate self? It's your ovulation phase. Okay, I know it's only 3 days long. For some women, this might expand into 4 to 5 days, but it's normally like a 3-day window. So really use this time to just go all out there, okay? This is when you are really feeling your best. And then the last phase is your luteal phase. Now, the luteal phase is autumn, so it's the preparation before winter. This is days 17 to 28 of the calendar. This phase, it's not feeling as fun as your ovulation phase, but it is a more focused phase, okay? This is when you are laser focused. This is when you are feeling very organized. You're like, okay, I want to like redo my whole house, or I need to start setting up new systems, new email marketing campaigns, or a new website for my brand. This is when you're like, okay, I need to batch create my content. This is when you have all those projects that you started thinking of in the springtime. This is when you want to execute and finish them and wrap them up. So this is a really big window, which is a really good time because you are laser focused. Other things are not really getting your attention, and you can really streamline the operations in your life and automate your workflow so that things are running smoothly, efficiently, effectively, and you really finish off those 28 days very strong. Because remember, the next phase is going to be winter. In winter, we don't want to do shit, okay? We want to rest. We are once again detoxifying our entire system. The body has to let out blood. We have to release. We have to let go. We want to be cuddled up. We want to feel warm. We don't want to work, okay? So we don't want to be doing new projects. We don't want to be traveling. We don't want to be seen, really. When I get my menstruation, I know in like the first 3 days, I don't want to be seen. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to be touched. I don't want to be bothered. I want everything out of my way. So I need to make sure that in my luteal phase, right, in autumn, from day 17 to 28, I get my stuff done. I'm wrapping things up. I'm executing. I am diligent, right? This is like the time that I recommend being in your masculine energy. The organization, being laser focused, right? Hustling to get things on, getting it to that finish line and then feeling good about it so that I don't have to sit there and think. Because you know what the worst thing is that we can possibly do, and I know we do this so often, is we get to our menstruation phase and we have all these open-ended tasks, whether it's at home or with friends or relationships or projects or businesses or at work. We have all these open tasks and we feel so much anxiety on our cycle, on our period, because we don't have the energy to get those open-ended tasks done. And why are we feeling anxious? Because we're like, damn, I should have done it right before I started my phase, right? Right before I started menstruating. And now I don't have the energy. I don't have it in me to get it done. I don't have an ounce of creativity right now because I'm being called by nature to rest, relax, and let out blood, let out stagnation, let out any pent-up resistance, pent-up emotions, pent-up energy. I can't be hustling to get old projects done. So when we have anxiety that builds inside of us, it makes our period more difficult than it needs to be. Nobody wants that. I know you don't want that. I know I hate that feeling. So this is why it's so good to have like a calendar of these days of our phase. And you can use like a period tracker, right? There's like the Flow app. There's probably like 10 different apps in your app store that you can use. I believe a lot of them have free options, so it's not going to cost you a penny. Some people use like different methods to track their cycle. It's really up to you, but this is a really good thing to know because you're like, okay, if I know in this period of my month I have a ton of energy, that's what I need to do. I need to get things done. If I know in this period of my month, I'm my most magnetic self, I need to plan these social events. If I know in this time of the month, it's really good for me to strategize and launch new ideas and visualize and set goals, I need to sit down and get clear with my intentions during that period. I know in this time of the month, I feel like shit, I'm tired, I need to rest, I don't want to be doing a single thing, I don't want to be bothered, I don't want any of it, then I need to make sure I get things done before I hit that 5-day mark of my menstruation cycle. So if I am in tune with my cycles, with these 4 seasons of my body, you can see how much easier life can become, right? We can clearly see how this sets us up for success. We can feel it in our body that yes, we are rhythmic beings. We're not 24-hour male beings. We're not operating on when the sun goes up and the sun goes down. That's not how the phases in our bodies work. We are much, much more in tune with nature than that. Okay, so we need to honor this. If we want a smoother life, a life with less resistance, more joy, more pleasure, less guilt, less anxiety, less health issues, then we should be syncing our life up with our cycle. Cycle syncing, I believe, is a life hack, and it's extremely underrated. It is gaining a lot more popularity in the last, I want to say, like 5 to 10 years. I just wish more people were teaching it. I really do. I wish more nutritionists were teaching it. I wish more fitness coaches were teaching it, more life coaches, more mindset coaches, because the woman is so intricate, right? Your body as a woman is this intricate piece of technology, actually so much better than technology, but that's what I'm trying to compare it to. It's like designed like a incredible spiritual machine. That's like the best way I can put it. And if we're not honoring it, if we're not helping it do its best, then we're gonna feel like we're always struggling, right? And a lot of us feel like that. A lot of us are tired, cranky, burnt out, depressed, suffering from illness, unhappy, right? We're unhappy because we're really fighting with our body. We're going against it. We're going against what it's supposed to be experiencing. Oh, and the other thing, I almost forgot. I wanted to go over how to help your cycle when it comes to like food and workouts, like for health purposes. I think this is also really, really important. So I'm gonna go through the same 4 phases really quick so you guys know how to help your body during these phases. So the first phase that we went over is menstrual, the winter phase. So since we have the lowest energy in the winter phase, we don't need to be doing vigorous workouts, okay? For all my girls who love heavy weightlifting, high intensity interval training, take it easier on yourself during your menstruation. This is not the time to push through. This is time to rest, relax. You should be saving as much energy for your body to go through its letting out detoxification process while it is bleeding, rather than putting all your energy on really high endurance exercises. So gentle yoga, stretching, walking if you would like. These are all really good ways to get some movement in if you prefer. Again, you don't have to. Do not feel guilty for resting. And the foods that you want to be focusing on are going to be high in iron, okay? Think of beets, think of lentils, think of red meats, different seafood as well. Anything that you like. I don't want you to eat things that you don't enjoy, but find foods that are higher in iron that you know you enjoy. Like I love eating steak, but I know not everybody likes to eat steak, so I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that's what you should be eating. Just find foods that are rich in iron. That's what you should be eating every single day to help your body do what it needs to do. In the second phase, which is the follicular phase, again, this is springtime and your body is finding a new burst of energy, a new lust for life. Remember, it's the renewal of the body. So you can do cardio, you can do strength training, you can do outdoor workouts. This is a really good time to get active once you feel your energy has risen up again. And the recommended food group that you really want to focus on during your follicular phase are foods that are high in fat. So think salmon, think avocado, think nuts and seeds that are very fatty and support your brain as well. So this is a good time to eat higher fat foods. At this point, your cramps should be completely eased up and gone, and you feel really good to get active. So if you have those high endurance workouts that you love to do, this is a good time to do them. The next phase is our ovulation phase. And since we love collaborating during this time, we love being outside, we love being seen, this is a good time to do group classes, right? Like high intensity interval training classes, Pilates classes, anything in a fun group environment you're gonna enjoy the most during this time. And during your ovulation phase, you want to be eating foods that are rich in color. So I'm thinking your fruits and your veggies. These are very high vibrational foods, rich in antioxidants, rich in vitamins and minerals that keep your body light, feeling good and ready to be outside. They don't really weigh you down. They're not too heavy. And then the last phase is our luteal phase. We are going to start experiencing more bloating during this time. This is like my least favorite time to be in a bikini, for example, because I know my body is holding on to so much water weight. So I don't really want to be like in a thong bikini on a yacht right now. I want to be probably wearing like loose pants, like sweatpants, things that are a little bit more comfortable. Now, the foods that you want to be eating in your luteal phase should be very protein centered. So think turkey, think fish, think your red meat, think chicken, eggs, bacon, whatever your protein choices are. If you don't eat meat, you can lean into more tofu or fermented tofu options. And since your body is about to go through a big hormonal change, it's really good for you to start incorporating eating carrots. I feel like carrots are such an underrated beauty food, and they really help the body with estrogen, progesterone. It removes any excess hormones that the body doesn't need and supports the hormones that it does need during this phase. And the workouts that I saw online that are suggested during this time are low impact workouts. So I'm thinking like Pilates, outdoor walking, swimming, anything that is a more low impact, but still gets you sweating and feeling good so that your body is still producing the endorphins and the serotonin that it needs. I think if you are living in a place where there's sun, this is a good time to get outdoors and do outdoor workouts and get some sun to increase your vitamin D levels, because right before we get our menstruation, our mood can get a little bit like wonky here. So you might feel your mood swings going up and down. And besides nutrition, one of the things that's really good for your mood is sun exposure. So this is a good time to get outside for your workouts and get some extra sun into your routine. I know we've covered so much already on our 4 phases here. I just want to go over one last thing, and this is for my business owners. I find this to be so important, so helpful. I'm just going to run through certain things that you should be focusing on and not be focusing on during your 4 phases to really help you with success, okay? Because I'm the type of person who hates being burnt out, and I notice most women get burnt out after just doing the same thing every day. Like, we kind of get sick of it because, again, we are rhythmic beings. We're not 24-hour beings. So when I think of business strategy, I'm going to run through the 4 phases here to give you guys some insight on how I like to set up my month for this. So during my menstruation phase, minimal meetings and a whole lot of downtime, okay? I want a clear schedule. I want all my work done prior to my menstrual phase so that I can kind of check out. If anyone needs me, it needs to be like something drastic that I jump on. Other than that, I don't want to work. I don't want to work. I don't want to wake up early. I want to be in bed. So if you can set up your month, when you know your menstruation phase is about to enter, you want to make sure you get most of your work done before that. The second phase, which is follicular phase, which is our springtime again. This is a good time to set new goals, outline new ideas, start developing new courses, new programs, new content, new offers. You can also attend workshops and brainstorm with your team during this time and map out your new launches that you are going to get ready for in the next phase, which is your ovulation phase. Remember, this is our most magnetic time to collaborate, to sell. So remember, your ovulation phase is when you are so magnetic, so high energy. This is when you want to be seen and you want to be selling. Okay, if you're a business owner, sell, sell, sell. So going to networking events, going live, speaking on podcasts, hosting live webinars to sell out your offers, connecting with your clients, pitch to media or pitch collaborations with people that you want to work with, and launch your offers. If you are going to launch an offer, it better be during your ovulation phase. If you want to sell out your offer, your services, your programs, your products, whatever it is that you want people to start buying from you, start launching it during the ovulation phase of your month. And then the last phase is luteal phase. So this is our autumn season. We are completing tasks, we are organizing, we are evaluating, we are using our focus to pay attention to detail and be very strategic with our work. We're streamlining our operations, we're automating our workflows. So think of funnels, think of your email marketing, think of setting up your websites and your systems and editing all your batch recorded content for your business. So finish off the month strong, because this is the end of your month before you start preparing to slow down again for your menstruation cycle. So if you start applying this knowledge, honestly, you become unstoppable. You become a brand new woman. You start living life by design, the way that you were meant to live. You're not just going to be living and surviving. You're going to start thriving. You're going to notice so many differences in your energy levels, in your health, in your mindset, in your manifestations, in your level of success, the things that you're capable of achieving, because you are now operating through the rhythmic flow of your body. We have been working against our bodies forever, literally forever. We've never been really living in alignment with it. And honestly, in this world, it is difficult. It is difficult to live in tune with nature, but if we can at least sync up our cycles to get us to feel better, to think better, to operate in a more flow state, why not, right? Why not give it a try? In my program, in the Manifesting Millions Blueprint Volume 2 that came out a few months ago, this is what I teach women. This is a big component of the divine feminine energy coaching for business. So not only am I teaching you in there how to cycle sync your business, how to fully activate your divine feminine energy every single day to achieve success and to manifest massive sale flow. Not only are you learning my business strategy, my sales and marketing strategy, my funnel systems, setting up your programs, your offers online, how to pick the proper offers for your passion, for your mindset, for your path of least resistance. And most importantly, how to work in harmony with your body to be a successful female entrepreneur, how to create that heart and mind coherence so that your nervous system gets rewired to feel safe receiving large sums of money. Guys, this is how I am running a multi-7-figure business. I've done this on my own. I only recently started hiring help after I hit the $3 million mark. So I've been manifesting multi-7 figures by figuring these things out on my own, and I've learned so much as an entrepreneur. I love teaching this work. I love getting this information across to women and watching them flourish, watching them achieve things they never knew they could achieve, receiving not just success, not just money, not just abundance, not just more clients, but receiving a feeling of, oh my God, it can be easier. Oh my God, it can feel this good. I don't always have to struggle. I don't always have to feel like shit. I don't always have to be in victim mentality. I could be a winner every year and just win more and win more. That's really like my mission. And I love seeing the success stories that you guys have been achieving in such a short amount of time inside of MMB Volume 2. I find it to be my favorite piece of work that I've ever put together, even more than the membership. It's really like your all-in-one business program for female entrepreneurs. So I'm so excited that we have hundreds of women already in there. If you're interested in getting your hands on the Manifesting Millions Blueprint Volume 2, I will leave a link below where you guys can access that program directly. And I will see you guys again next week on Wednesday for a brand new episode of your Manifesting Bestie podcast.